You're listening to Farang Stories, Hungry Nights in Pattaya, Episode 3, Leaving the Mission. The first morning on her own, Ning woke before the sun found her window. She lay still, listening. The air was cooler than she had expected. A gecko chirped from somewhere in the wall. A motorbike in the alley below started and coughed into life. She watched the light creep across the cracked ceiling and decided she liked the room. It was small, but it was hers. The bed was narrow, the walls thin enough to share a neighbor's radio. The tap outside dripped with the persistence of a clock. A single chair, a table, a mirror with its silver worn thin. In the corner, her small toolbox sat beside her shoes. It was enough. She washed in a plastic basin with water that woke her better than coffee. She tied her hair into a knot. She looked at herself and smiled, because the girl in the mirror looked ready to try. The pendant from Kate rested just below her throat. She touched it lightly, the way one checks if something is still real. Outside, Pattaya was stirring. The scent of fried rice drifted from a nearby stall. The sea air carried a trace of diesel. Monks walked barefoot past the shop fronts, collecting alms in their quiet, steady rhythm. Ning joined the morning as if stepping onto a moving walkway. She bought rice and an egg in a plastic bag and ate standing up, because that was what people did when they were part of the city. Her first job came from a woman named Suni, who owned a small laundry. The sign outside promised fast service and clean results, and that was true most of the time. Ning worked there for little money but learned quickly. She sorted shirts, folded sheets, and carried baskets of damp clothes to the line behind the shop, where sunlight did the rest. The scent of soap and warm cotton became her new perfume. Sune liked her. "You work quiet," she said. Not as praise, but as observation. Quiet girls last longer. In the evenings, Ning sat on the step outside the laundry, watching people drift past. Tourists moved in groups, cameras slung over their shoulders. Local women in office clothes walked fast, eyes on their phones. She thought about Kate sometimes, and Bill, and the other children at the mission. She thought about her mother too, and wondered if the small room still stood against the rain. There was a man who came for his shirts once a week, a driver for one of the hotels. He spoke gently, with the patience of someone who had grown up in a house that valued small prolatinesses. They talked in short sentences about the weather, about the best stalls for cow man guy, about football scores neither of them followed. It was nothing, and it was something. Ning liked that it was ordinary. A year passed like a tide rising unnoticed. She learned how to budget, how to avoid the street arguments that occasionally broke out over nothing, how to look busy enough that no one thought to disturb her. She moved once to a better room near Third Road, with a fan that worked and a balcony that faced the sunrise. From there, she could see the sea in slivers between buildings, a suggestion of blue that felt like permission. On her 20th birthday, she allowed herself a small luxury, a trip to the temple at Nong Nooch. She went early, before the tourist buses. The air was thick with incense and orchids. She knelt before the Buddha image, eyes closed, and whispered a list of gratitude that surprised her with its length. When she looked up, a saffron-robed monk was standing a few paces away, smiling faintly. "You speak to yourself?" he asked. "To the Buddha," she said. "Good," he replied. "Sometimes they are the same thing." He handed her a small string bracelet and tied it loosely around her wrist. "Luck," he said. "But remember, luck likes people who get up early." She laughed. It felt good to laugh in a place where the sound echoed kindly. Work at the laundry changed when a new hotel opened nearby. The orders doubled, the hours stretched. Ning took on extra shifts and began staying late to iron uniforms. One evening, while she was closing up, Suni called her into the office. "I'm selling," she said simply. "My sister needs me in Chiang Mai. You've been good. You'll find work easy." Ning nodded. It was not shock. It was life continuing its habit of rearranging itself without permission. They hugged, awkwardly but sincerely. The next week, the new owner arrived, a brisk woman who wanted faster hands and lower wages. Ning thanked her for the opportunity, lasted 2 days, and left with her dignity intact. Job hunting became her new routine. She walked from shop to shop, filled out forms, left her phone number, and waited. Money thinned, meals became simpler, yet she refused to feel beaten. On the third week, an advertisement caught her eye, a position for a hostess at a small bar off Beach Road. The memory of the mission flickered. She could hear Kate's voice. "Choose your company carefully." She almost walked past. But she needed work, and not every bar was what people thought. She stepped inside. The place was small but clean. The owner, a woman in her 30s with careful eyes and an easy laugh, introduced herself as Fon. She liked Ning, immediately liked her quiet voice, her tidy posture, the way she listened. "You'll be fine," Fon said. "You just talk to people, pour drinks, smile. If someone is rude, I handle it." And it was fine. The first nights felt like theater. Music low, conversation loud, the air thick with perfume and beer. Men came and went. Women laughed in self-defense and in genuine amusement alike. Ning kept to the rules she made for herself. No promises, no debts, no lies she could not carry. She learned to read a man's eyes faster than his words. She learned how to disappear from a table without seeming to move. Money was better than it had ever been. Rent was paid on time. She bought a second-hand phone. She sent a small amount each month to her mother, who was sober more often now. Her daughter, 5 years old, had started school. Ning kept a photo in her wallet, the child in a too-big uniform, grinning at the camera with the same stubborn joy Ning carried like a signature. The years layered themselves like thin cloth. Bars changed names. Friends drifted in and out. Tourists came, fell in love with an idea, and went home. Pattaya stayed the same and utterly different. Sometimes, after closing, Ning walked to the beach. She took off her shoes, let the tide lap at her ankles, and watched the fishing lights in the distance. She thought about all the lives she had lived, the slum, the mission, the laundry, the bar, and how they felt like chapters in a book written by someone else but read by her. She wondered if Kate still lived in the same flat, if Bill still fixed things before people noticed they were broken. She had promised to visit, but promises are fragile when life keeps you busy with survival. Still, she knew they would remember her. She could almost hear Kate's voice. "Keep your light." One night, while walking home after a shift, she passed a group of young girls standing under a flickering streetlight. They were maybe 15, maybe less. One of them caught her eye, the nervous smile, the fidgeting hands, the uncertain hope of someone new to the city. Ning hesitated, then walked over. "Go home if you can," she said quietly. "This road does not love anyone." The girl looked at her, startled, then nodded. Whether she would listen, Ning could not tell. But saying it felt right, like paying back a debt. Later that night, lying in bed, Ning could not sleep. The fan turned lazily overhead, stirring warm air that smelled of detergent and salt. She thought about the girl, about Kate, about the circle life draws without asking. By morning, she had made a decision. She would visit the mission. She would take her daughter and show her the place where second chances begin. She smiled to herself at the thought. There was a story worth telling, and it was not over yet. You've been listening to Farang Stories. If you'd like more tales from Pattaya, Bangkok, and beyond, subscribe and share this episode.